I'm here to announce that November was the best reading month that I have had in years, bitch. The books that I've read in November have become my heart and fucking soul. I personally have not felt like this about a romance and romance in general in like 2 years, bitch. Welcome to the video if you're new. Hello, if you're not new, welcome back. I started the Sins of the Fallen series at the end of October, and I just knew that I was going to devour the rest of the series within the first week of November, and that I did. Touched by darkness and touched by death. I cannot preach enough about how amazing this series is. I believe that I've mentioned this series in every single video since I started reading it last month, and I cannot gas it up enough, honestly. If you love paranormal, dark, gory romances, this is where you need to go. Harley Beck is such an underrated author, and I just love her so much. I completely fell in love with this world. I read all 3 books within a 3-day fucking time frame. Just briefly, it's about this woman who is an angel. Okay, she's living in Eden. She's drawn towards the gates. She wants to find out what lies behind the gates. So when she escapes Eden, she comes across 3 fallen angels who are dark, broody, totally toxic, and ready to penetrate the fuck out of her. And that they do. Though this series was full of so much fucking smart, I could not get enough of the plot. The plot was amazing, so don't sleep on this. It's been like a month since I read this series. I kind of feel like I should have rated it 5 stars, not 4. So I read The Sinister Legacy, which is an erotic horror novel. Yeah, this book slapped so hard. It definitely is an acquired taste. If you're someone that likes, you know, pretty vanilla romances or just like borderline dark romances, erotic horror, and especially Sinister Legacy is not for you. Think of the Scream movies, but make it kind of thrillery, and there is a mystery as well. So we've got this girl who, you know, figures out that her father is a serial killer, and she's carrying around a lot of shame. She doesn't like herself. She's living in this town that whispers a lot about her because her father is a serial killer. So because of that, she ends up encountering a lot of men and having really unhealthy sexual relationships with them. And while that is taking place, there's been a copycat killer that has appeared in town that is killing everyone that is involved with her. So I read this in November, and this is fucked up, but in the best way possible. This is a bully romance, but it's like next level. There was so many things in this book that I was like, whoa, bitch. My stomach is turning because that is disgusting. And not even because of the love interest, the backstory of the heroine, like her life. What she's dealing with in this story is just buck wild, bonkers, totally disturbing, but I was here for the bully romance. Harley writes bully romance on another level. Lines are blurred, morals are invisible, bitch. The smut is smutting. It's just dirty, graphic, horny shit, bitch. It's just horny as fuck shit, and it's so good. But it's like dark, okay? So don't get it twisted, bitch. It's dark, and I'm here for the darkness, and I know that you are too. So the Rivals duet blew my fucking mind. I will say, book 2, I did get to a point where I was like, not getting bored, but I was kind of hoping that the plot was going to go in a direction that I wanted to, and I was kind of waiting for the direction to change. After reading Harley Beck, I read QB Taylor's new release. So this here is an age gap romance about a heroine and her best friend's dad. Ah, yes, give me the taboo. I love it. QB does it the best, and though I enjoyed this and rated it 4 stars, because I did really like it, and I love QB, okay? Unconditional, forget me not. They're like old school ride or dies for me, all right? I love her books. Going from like paranormal Harley Beck to this, I found that this book just didn't cure what I needed, okay? I was needing more, and I wanted more from this book. As I said, that doesn't mean it was bad. I still rated it 4 stars, but I'm a mood reader, right? So if I get in the mood for paranormal and something along those lines, going back to a forbidden, pretty contemporary romance, it's just not gonna fill up my cup. Don't ask me how I found this, okay? I don't know, all right? I'm on this journey with reading where I'm trying to pick up books and find books that I haven't seen anyone talk about. I want to bring something fresh and new to you guys that you haven't seen and haven't read for yourself. So I kind of just clicked on this and was like, whatever, I'm in the mood to read paranormal. It says Demon Bride. Apparently it's an arranged marriage from the blurb. And I really loved this book up until about 40%, okay? So I did finish the entire book, and I only rated it 3 stars because I just wasn't entirely in love with the plot. It just didn't interest me, and I was more focused on the relationship. Like, I would have much rather if this book was kind of just about the relationship and it was just like a smutty arranged marriage demon and witch romance, but there was more to it and I didn't care for the rest of the story, but it started off really good. So it's about this heroine who's pretty lower level in her coven. Like, her coven doesn't really care much about her because she doesn't bring much to the coven. And every year they hold like this ceremony where they give one of their witches to a demon to marry. This bond is meant to keep the world that the demons are living in like okay. It's like without this marriage, their world falls apart, like their realm falls apart. So when this demon comes through for the annual I need to take my witch bitch, she gets picked. This heroine gets picked and she's so shocked because, hello bitch, I don't have any good powers. I'm like lower level in my coven. Like no one even like looks my way. And the funniest thing about this entire situation is the demon that comes through is instantly searching for her because it's his mate, okay? Fated mates, fated mates. I'm obsessed with fated mates right now. Don't even get me started. My fantasy era is about to get kicked the fuck off, bitch. Get ready for it. 2024, I'm gonna be nose deep in dragons and shit, bitch. I just know it. It's happening. It's finally here. Anyway, yeah, this was like a 3.5. I think I rated it. Like, it wasn't that great. Like, I wasn't obsessed with it. But it was good, fun, for at least 40% before I got bored. After my Demon Bride, I had to hit up one of my good friends, Audrey. I'll leave her Instagram down below. But she has read and reads a hell of a lot of paranormal. And I messaged her and said, hey, I am in my paranormal era. Give me the Rex. And she sent me a list. And she suggested this series by Christy Cunning. Now, these books, this series and her Gypsy series, has been on my TBR for fucking years. And if you didn't know, Christy Cunning has 2 other pen names. One of them is St. Abbey. So she's the author of the Mindfuck series. And unfortunately, she passed away not last year. I think it was the year before. Or maybe it was last year. But she's no longer with us, which makes me so sad because she is a wicked good author. And I haven't read anything from her that I haven't liked. I, am not obsessed with the Mindfuck series, but it's definitely not a bad book and I can understand why so many people fucking froth it. So this series has 4 books and it's called the Dark Side series. Oh my fucking God. This is the most bizarre thing I have ever read in my life. I cannot even explain it. Like, I don't even have the words to try and explain this series because so much happens and so much of it is a mindfuck, okay? The whole time you're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Who are these people? What does this mean? What the hell? And it ends up being something that you didn't even ever think about. Like, I don't know how her mind created this world and this story and this plot in general. I don't know how people are that creative. I wish I was, because I would be doing a lot more with my life if I was that creative. All I can really say is we've got this woman, this heroine, who has been spying on these 4 men for 5 years. And she's invisible. She doesn't know why she's invisible. She doesn't know much. She's very confused on why she's here stalking and kind of watching these men. But what she finds when she watches them is something that she's very intrigued about and she wants to join in on the fun. That is all I'm going to say. But heavy paranormal. Okay, this is not a book that you want to jump into if you don't read paranormal. And I will say that it's very plot-based and not very romance-based. Like, there is romance in this, abso-fucking-lutely, and it is why I choose, by the way. It's very plotty. I don't know how else to say it. I will say, though, by book 3, I started to get a bit tired of this plot and story. Then we have this, bitch. Then we have this. My world has been changed. I will never be the same again. This has been floating around for quite some time. I've seen it everywhere and I just have never given it a chance because I thought it was fantasy, which it is fantasy. But my God, guys, I haven't found a series like this in so long. I am obsessed with this. This is one of my new favorite series of all fucking time. This is on par with the Elite Kings Club, Off Balance. Think of all my favorite series. This is now there. Do you know how long it's been since I've come across a book and a series that can be on par with those books? It's almost impossible. It's a 6-book series. I read 4.5 of these books within a 3-day time frame. What? I didn't fucking sleep, bitch. The first night I started reading this, I was up until 4 a.m. I had to physically fucking force my hand to put down my phone and put myself to sleep. Every second free in my day, my nose was buried in my phone. I have had nothing but sore eyes and tension headaches from reading my phone and having a phone screen in my face the entire time. I posted it on every social media platform. Like on Instagram, I was saying that my screen time was like 10 hours and it was all from the Kindle app. The Bonds That Tie by J. Bree. Oh my god, I love this. I cannot boast about it enough and preach and brag and just try and convince you to fucking read this because it is insane. It's why choose. This whole why choose world for me that I've opened up, I don't know. Okay, I don't know why it's taken me this long to finally read why choose. I know I'm very particular about my why choose, but the magic about this why choose is I love every single man. And you don't favor one relationship over the other. Like you believe her love for each of these men. I don't even have the time and words to wrap up this plot because it's a 6-book series. So much shit has happened in the first 4 books and now I'm on the 5th book. We've got our heroine on the run. She has figured out that she is bonded to some pretty serious dudes and she's running from it. She has to get away from her fated mates. Yes! She craves them. She just can't go there because if she does, something terrible is going to happen. So she's on the run until they find her, and when they find her, they're not happy. They are so savagely angry with her and they are brutal. So we've got a bit of a fated mate, enemy to lovers situation, and it's fantasy. So it's not just paranormal, it's fantasy. We're dealing with a different world. There's like, you know, magic kind of, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it is insane. And the one thing that I love about this, because this is the thing, I hate fantasy if there's too much world building. There wasn't a lot of world building with this, and if I can come across more fantasy books that are set up kind of like this, where you don't have 700 chapters of world building, then I'm laughing, bitch. I'm having a hoo-ha in the backyard. The names aren't hard to pronounce. You know what the fuck is going on. You know who's who. You're not confused. It's just very easy to read. The way that J. Bree wrote this is just insanely easy to fucking digest and bank in your memory. Like it's not a hard fantasy to read whatsoever, which is why I love it so much. Like this month was such a good fucking reading month thanks to Harley Beckman. Like she fully woke me up again and I'm here for it. I'm here to crush 2024 with just fire book recs, because if I can come across more of this shit, which you better tell me in the comments below, give me all the suggestions if you read this type of shit. Like if you loved this series, what should I read next? But wow, what a way to end the month. And that was the thing about most of these books this month. Like every time I walked away from the book, I was still so obsessed with it. And if a book doesn't do that to me, I'm not gonna bother reading it. And I live for that. Like that's what I want. I don't want to be in reality. I want to be in my book, okay? I don't want to even think about anything else but what I'm reading. So there are the books I read in the month of November. It was such a good reading month. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy that I read all these books, and I just, again, for the like 5th time, I need to shout out to Harley Beck because she's the one that pulled me out of a fucking book slump. If you guys have been in a book slump like me for the past couple of years and just nothing's really hitting, you need to find new authors. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to thumbs up. Also, let me know in the comments below your favorite book from November. Thanks so much for watching. It means the world to me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.